So what you're looking at here is the Fusion Professional 2.0 by SureCall. This is a cell signal booster for both home and offices, and inside this kit it has everything that you need, including an indoor antenna, an outdoor antenna, and an amplifier to boost that cell signal indoors, both on the voice and on the data. Now, as much as I am a DIYer, I thought I should get this professionally installed, so I got some help from this man right here, Rob Villeneuve from Fraser Valley RF Solutions. Once everything was up and running and the test began, I have to say the results were quite surprising. We're gonna have Rob turn on the booster and then we're gonna see what happens over here. So let's see. This is the moment of truth. Okay, so here's the Fusion Professional 2.0 by SureCall. We've taken everything out of the box and we have it over here. Rob, why don't you go ahead and try to explain the signal flow of everything so I can kind of wrap my head around how this solution works.
Signal flow comes from the cell tower. The downlink signal from the tower comes to the outside antenna.
And this is a directional antenna, so you face this to the tower that's nearest to you.
Correct.
Okay.
And I have gear to measure, I have a spectrum analyzer to measure the signal strength, and I can focus it in the proper direction for the strongest incoming signal.
Okay, so now this gets connected with this cable here?
Yes, it's LMR 400 cable, SC 400 cable, which it's a low loss cable, brings the signal to the bottom of the amplifier.
And where is this amplifier being located? Inside the home?
Anywhere inside the home. It does need to be plugged into an electrical outlet.
And so it goes from here using this cable right here.
Yep, this is SC 400 cable, and it brings the signal from the amplifier over to the indoor antenna.
Okay, so we're inside. Rob's got his system all set up. Rob, what exactly are we looking at over here?
This is a spectrum analyzer and the spectrograph view. So essentially, this red line up here shows the signal strength coming in, and the view down here is a scrolling view of it. The very bottom is right now, and the top of it is 20 seconds ago, so you can see if there's any change in signal. Right now you can see there was more blue and now we have more red, so the signal here just got a bit stronger.
What does that mean? What do these colors mean?
This screen is essentially split up into 4 slices of 5 megahertz bands, 5 megahertz of signal. So 5 megahertz here is the Rogers 4G signal in the 850 megahertz band. This is the Rogers 3G, this is TELUS 3G, and this is TELUS 4G in the band 5. In the 850 megahertz frequency.
So I'm on the Rogers Fido network and I'm going to do a speed test now to see what the before speed is. Okay, so the result of the first test is 5.9 megabits per second download with a 0.04 megabits per second upload. That is horrible. Okay, Rob, we just went inside. We did the before test to see what the signal was. My data speeds are really, really bad. So I'm really hoping this system is going to improve at least the download speeds, because from what I understand, the cell reception is pretty good for taking calls inside my house.
Yes, the lower frequency bands are getting in here.
But the data was horrible. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, with the wider frequency bands, you'll get a lot more data speed. This adds a lot of extra spectrum, which will help with the data speeds.
So we should see a big bump in the data when I do the after.
It's going to be a huge difference.
Okay, so what's going on next now? You're actually going to get into this install. I see you got your ladder over here. You've decided that you're going to install right onto that peak right over there and then run it inside my house, correct?
Yep, I'm going to use the J-arm antenna mounts, mount the antenna to that, and I've got my gear. I'm going to measure the signal strength pointed to the cell tower and then run a cable. I'm going to use white cable for your situation. I'm going to install the white cable down around the house into where you want the indoor booster, and then the indoor antenna goes near that.
So, like you mentioned, the nearest cell phone tower is over there, so you're going to have it facing up there. So I guess it's just go time.
All right, let's go.
I am so jealous. You have like an entire bag of zip ties.
This is my zip tie bag.
Dude, I am so jealous right now. I thought I had a lot of zip ties, but like, look at the size of this. Holy Oh, I didn't even know they made them that big. Wow.
This is 23 and a half. Those are 36-inch.
Wow.
I got a few. Mostly use 8s. I use the hundreds and hundreds of 8-inch.
So jealous. So this is the moment of truth. We have the cell booster installed. Here's the amplifier. Over there is the indoor antenna. Of course, we have the outdoor antenna installed on the roof. And to find out how this works, Rob's got this cool little software over here. Rob, I just want you to explain what we're looking at here, because I see all these different colors on the bottom and I see this graph here on the top.
Okay, so this is connected to a spectrum analyzer right behind the laptop, and it lets me see the radio waves. So right now we're looking at the center frequency is 880 megahertz, which is the downlink band from the cell tower over to the phones. And it's split up. This is showing 25 megahertz wide. Each of the frequencies in here is a 5 megahertz slice. So over here, it's going to be a Rogers 4G LTE signal, and then a Rogers 3G UMTS signal, followed by a TELUS 3G UMTS signal, a TELUS 4G LTE signal, and then a Rogers 2G GSM signal.
And so what are these colors over here going on?
So the top line here over here is the actual signal strength coming in. So minus 110 at the very bottom is no signal at all. Minus 100, as you get closer to 0, it's a stronger signal. So right now you can see the levels are at approximately minus 95, which is not great. And then down the bottom half of the screen is a spectrogram view. So it's just a rolling history.
Is this like a live look of what's going on?
Yes, this is live right now. And on the bottom part here, the very bottom slice of this is right now. And as it moves up, you can see that as it gets to the top, that's from roughly about 20 seconds ago. So you can see any changes happening.
And I noticed there's like these like lines of blue here. What does that mean?
Yeah, so the blue corresponds with the low points on the spectrum analyzer view, which is in between the different bands. It's a guard band where there should be no signal there.
And so that's what's separating the different carriers?
That's correct.
Interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Rob turn on the booster, and then we're going to see what happens over here. So let's see. This is the moment of truth right here. Wow, you can see the amplification going on. So what exactly, so that's the signal being boosted inside my home.
That's correct.
And you can get a kind of a visual representation. So it's not just like the call qualities, but you could actually physically see the signal being boosted.
That's the signal that's being amplified from the booster coming out of the indoor antenna, and then the antenna for the spectrum analyzer is over in your counter right here.
And so now all of these colors have really popped up. What's going on over here? Like, what's this red?
So red and the black means your signal's too strong above the top of the screen, and then the red is a really strong signal. Lower down at the bottom is blue, no signal, and then green is...
And this blue right here is the separating the two bands between the carriers.
That's correct. That's the one between that's the one between TELUS 3G and TELUS 4G.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so really the final thing is to test the data, because I did a speed test before we had it installed. Now that everything's installed, I'm going to go and do a speed test on my phone using the data on the mobile network to see what the difference is. 65.5 down and 29.3 up. So you can see with this before and after that the download and upload speed significantly increased once that signal booster was turned on. This tells me that it does indeed work, and that amplification leads to better data speeds indoors. You know, Rob, I'm a DIY guy, but I'm really happy I had you come here and install this, because I really don't know if I could have done that. Especially the connectors parts, really makes sense to have an expert install this. I know you serve the Metro Vancouver area. If there's people out there that have bad cell reception inside their home and they want to get your help, how do they contact you?
It's easy. Just give me a call, 604-499-BOOST or 604-499-2667.
And I'm looking at your truck over there. You got a website as well called.
You can check out the website, bettercellsignal.ca.
And what can they find over there? Your contact information?
Contact info's there. You can contact me on a forum there, and you can see all the different products and all the different boosters I sell.
Very cool. So you're the guy. If someone has bad cell reception, you're the guy to call. So if you do have bad cell reception indoors, could be your home, it could be your office, it could even be your cottage. This is the kit you need right here, folks, from SureCall. It's the Fusion Professional 2.0. Now, my one bit of advice is, even if you're a DIYer, get a professional to install it. They got the tools, they got the know-how. They'll make sure that it's facing the right tower that's nearest you to ensure that you get the best cell reception. Andy Baryer, Handy Andy with Rob Villeneuve from Better Cell Signal and Fraser Valley RF Solutions. We'll see you again next time. Thanks, Rob.